Hey guys, just another little update on some of the things that I've been working on. I'm waiting for my new ESCs to come from my Flip FPV. I had a little bit of trouble with the optos I got from RC Timer, so I don't know what was up with that, but it was causing crazy jittering oscillations or whatnot. So anyways, waiting on the some new IPCAs for that. So in the meantime, I installed a naze into the Flip, and I can't believe like how friggin' locked in this board is compared to the CC3D and all the messing around and everything I did with the CC3D. And I put that in and dropped the PIDs a little bit just by a quick search online, and it pretty much flies rock solid. So anyways, I'm working on the installing the Minim OSD I got from forget the name of the place I got in, a White Spy or something like that. So anyways, I got that, and I ordered the if I can find it there. I also ordered the updater, so that would just plug in here into these pins. You just have to match them up. And I installed the newest firmware for the KV OSD. I think that's what it is, or something like that. So anyways, I pulled my VTX and everything out of the Flip tonight, and figured I'd get it going. I just had to make a couple little changes because in the on the Minim OSD, these pins right here is your video in on the top and video out, or vice versa. I forget how it is now. And yeah, so you got your video in, power, negative. Video in would be on top and video out is on bottom. So this can accept power, but I'm already going to be powering the board with one of these ready-made LC filters with the dual step down. So as you can see, this one is 5 volts out, and this one is your normal 12 volts, which is pretty cool. So I got my 4S in, and then it just branches out. 5 volts to power the board, and this 12 volt line coming to power the VTX and power the camera. This is just a plug for the camera, if you can kind of get that. And so I popped the power out of each lead that's going to go into the into the Minim OSD. So I just took the power out of the middle one. Just had to do a little bit of soldering, and yeah. So basically, so your video in, I think I just gotta double check. Yeah, vid in is on top. And it's like that. Like that. It's just your signal and negative. And the same thing, your video out from your VTX. You just plug that in on the bottom. And one more little on the in order for you can change the PIDs on the fly with in the OSD menus with your stick commands on your radio. And you'll notice right here in the center of the board on the naze, there's an RX and a TX. You can see that right there. 2 little pins right there. So yeah, this is just the backup board. I haven't soldered it yet. But your TX and your RX. And I just had to solder up a JST, just a male to male, and you can see here on the board is your RX and TX. But now they have to reverse, so let's just say red is TX. On your board side, red needs to go to the RX. So you just orientate it however you see fit, and just plug it in. But they have to be reversed. Right? RX to the TX and TX to the RX. And that is about it. So I'm going to power it up. Just and see if I get any smoke, but it's pretty much normally how you do. You just power the board with the 5 volts, so it's ideal that I've got one of these. But now also on the Nazi, there are two. If we can get in close enough here, there are 2 little pads that give you 3 volts and gives you 5 volts. So right here, you can see that there's a 5 volt pad, and the 3 volt pad is just over on this other side right here. You can see that there's 3 volts. So if you needed something like Bluetooth or whatnot, you can get your 3 volts off of that, and you could get 5 volts off this little pad right here. Or if you have an extra motor lead that's not being used, you can just take your 5 volts off of that. So yeah, that is just a little update on what I'm doing for the Minim OSD. Now there are a couple on this side. I have to do some research, because along this hairline here there is bat 1 ground, battery 2 ground. It says TXT SSI, so, and ground voltage out, and another ground. So I think the SSI, the TX SSI is the RSSI. So I got to just do a little bit of research on that before I go plugging anything in. And I'm assuming bat 1, I'm just going to have to I can solder a positive and negative from my power distribution board and plug it in here, and I'll get my voltage reading, I guess. So it's a work in progress, and I'm slowly doing a bit of research, but I ended up getting the KV OSD firmware and everything flashed. There's a pretty good online video. Mocha Boy, or I don't know how he pronounces his name, but yeah, it's quite long, but if you really want to get in, he really gets into it by soldering right onto this board and stuff like that, which is a little bit out of my league right now, but I think that's for the GPS and stuff like that. But basically this can work in anything as long as you put if you can power it and get your video in, video out. You can lay this in anything, and it has an artificial horizon, and so yeah, just going to keep it pretty simple. I'm just going to stick it in the flip, and I really like the idea of being able to change your PIDs with your sticks. Well guys, I finally got the everything wired up for the Minim OSD. Everything is working okay. I was running the 2.2 the KV team, but I noticed looking in the wiki or whatnot, in the downloads, 2.3 was available, so I reflashed the board with the Arduino, and so we'll just power it up here and see. So we got 2.3, and the menu, if you can see that there, it says you can hold your throttle to get into the menu, but so it's got an artificial horizon and whatnot built in, which is pretty cool. You arm the board, it blinks up there. I don't have no voltage or nothing, because I don't have it tied to my power distribution board and my RSSI. I need to look into that, like I was saying. But I get into the menu. If you can get this in view here, you need to, let me see if I can get this back a little bit. To get into the menu, first thing you need to disarm, and then it just gives you your max when you disarm, your trip and all that, and distance and milliamp and stuff. But so you disarm, you go half throttle, yaw right, and push forward, and brings into the menu. So we got there's 9 pages, and you just use your sticks to if I can get this in view here, so you can go up and make changes to your PIDs on the fly. So then this is left and right. If you want to go over, oh, you can make changes. Actually, this is new to me, so yeah, if you want to change your D or your I, so you use your right stick for left and right, up and down, and your rudder to make changes like that. And come down to the page. 7 minutes. You got your tuning, so you can change your RC rate and exponential and all that stuff. Your throttle curve. So I got a 50 now, so it's pretty soft. Basically, just softens up the midpoint to it's like expo on your throttle. Basically, it really helps maintaining a nice smooth flight without if you're bumping your throttle, you're going to be rising and not, so rising and lowering. And page 3, if I can get over here, is this one. So it's voltage alarm, so you can set it at 4 cell. I got a 14.5. A blinking frequency, I don't know what that is. Your RSSI. So usually, I know Dragon Link is if I can get up here. Yeah, it's minimum is, I don't know, you can usually go about why it's not changing for me, but I think you need to do something with that. I don't even have the RSSI hooked up, so calibration, it's just stuff there that you would probably want to do in base flight. Your GPS, if you hook up a GPS or whatnot. Advanced setup, we got reset stats, so basically that's on landing. You can reset the stats, your heading, your metric, and your video system. So NTSC. 5 minutes. Screen item position. So this is basically how you want stuff to be displayed. So you go over. So you got your sats, direction to home, off. So all these here that you don't really need because you don't have if you don't have a GPS like myself. Sensors, flight mode. So that just shows you if you're in acro. Heading off. Climb rate. You can turn off your artificial horizon. Your side references. Now there's one here at the end. I'm not sure if this is a pretty brand new firmware released. So I got my GPS latitude, longitude off, RSSI on, because I'm planning to do that. 4 minutes. Video bat off because I'm running off one main battery. So your amps, turn that on because I am planning to tie into my power distribution board once I figure out. Call sign, turn that off. So I'm going to come down here and save this before I go back in too, because I'm just going to get back in the menu here. I'm going to go over here to number 8 and get back up here where we were. If I keep coming over, it freezes up and reboots at the last one. So I'm not sure what is up with that. Sometimes it freezes up and I got to restart. So we'll go into it again. 3 minutes. And let me get back over on page 8. I'm going to get up here again. So right now I'm at number 1. Say if I go left to the last one, it'll freeze up again. Now it's totally froze. So the only way to reboot it now is reboot the power or hit the reset button on the Minim OSD. But I just like to reboot the power, because I'm not too sure if I reset on the actual OSD board. I'm not sure if it resets all the settings. I don't think it do, but I just don't want to go through it again. So anyways, that's the Minim OSD so far, but I'm having this little issue, and so I can report it on the wiki there if any issues or whatnot. So anyways guys, thanks for watching.